started to pump up the history of the Giants disease, the new Giants now.
I haven't.
I started to pump up the history of the Giants disease.
It might be
the
Giants
linebacker room. I mean, I know I read it a few days ago. I started to pump up the history of the Giants disease.
It might be
the Giants linebacker room. I mean, I know I read it a few days ago. I started to pump up the history of the Giants disease.
It might be
the Giants linebacker room. I mean, I know I read it a few days ago. I started to pump up the history of the Giants disease.
It might be
the Giants linebacker room. I mean, I know I read it.
Well, we got a caller.
Nice.
Who is on?
It's Kevin Nash.
Oh, hi, Kevin.
Big Daddy Cool Diesel.
What is going on, Justin? Hold, I am hooking everything up still. Please,
You know what? I'm gonna try something. I'm getting some feedback. I'm gonna grab my headphones and see if that stops it.
Please do.
All right.
Where's the NWO music? Where's the other one?
The other one should be coming.
Yeah. The Pennsylvania boys, the hit rates. You know, the funny thing is, Marco, I never thought when we started doing this many years ago back that I was going to be one of the positive ones. That's not really my personality.
when did that happen?
I don't know when that happened, when I started becoming one of the positive ones. But, you know, Justin James just took over, you know, and they get the hate. That's when I get the trolls on, you know, the videos I do. I'm like, oh, man, what's going on? You know, James and Justin expect us trolls.
It is bananas. I still... I know I'm the moderate one. Like I think my skill is that I have the pulse basically. I kind of know what Giants fans are thinking.
Yeah.
You know, I am one. James is always far to the other side.
And you know, Justin used to be positive, but now he's on the other side.
No,
especially when it comes to OBJ. Oh, it's over.
He's full Hollywood Hogan mode.
Yep. He turned heel. Just in a couple episodes.
All right, can you guys hear me okay?
I hear you very well.
Okay.
We were just talking about your heel turn, after the past couple weeks, and how you used to be one of the positive ones.
Listen, I'll embrace the full heel mode when we have diva wide receivers.
Yeah, when it comes to OBJ, you get hated on quite a bit. For your takes.
Maybe I'm just bitter a little bit because I don't understand. Come to practice. You know what I mean? It's not like they don't have a ton of time off. Even on his busy day, he's not. I mean, it's not working. You know what I mean? Aside from physical workout, he's not doing that 8 hours a day. You know what I mean? Come to training camp.
He's working with Chris Carter out there, guys.
He's been playing football his entire life. He knows football is the ultimate team sport. Show up for your teammates. Be a good teammate.
Is he coming out?
Like you said, he's working with a Hall of Fame wide receiver and Chris Carter. So he's doing his work.
And Chris Carter is the only one talking for him. It's like he got a heel wrestling manager. He's letting Bobby Heenan do all his talking. I don't want to hear from Chris Carter. We mopped the floor with Chris Carter. For as great as Chris Carter was, what did he do in the NFC Championship game in 2000? Nothing. We shut him down. So, I want Odell to play in the playoffs. Chris Carter isn't going to show him how to do that. Because how many rings do you have, Chris? 0. And if you're listening, please call in. Give him the number.
Sure. Chris Carter, the number is 516-453-9383. I'm sure you are tuned in.
This is Justin at Bleedbigblue. He calls out only Hall of Fame wide receivers.
That's who he calls out.
That's my I'm just going to start calling people out every week.
Yeah, you know what? But you got to call out Vernon. Vernon wasn't there. And
yes, him too.
You know, the one that bothered me the most was I saw Odigizua wasn't there.
I mean, he is clinging on,
Yeah, and I know Marco saw my question to James Cratch. Was it a coincidence that Devin Taylor got signed as soon as Odigizua didn't show up for OTAs?
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously not. And actually, I just read an article with them adding Devin Taylor that we probably have the top DNs in the league as far as rotation, which is pretty awesome. I guess, well, I don't know how much you guys really pump up the PF, the Pro Football Focus, statistics. But I know Vernon and JPP were top 5 in the run stopping category and the pass rushing categories. Which is, all well and good, but I definitely, we need to see some sacks this year.
And, we love snacks.
Yeah, we all love sacks. Snacks does the job.
Now he's retweeting. I have to say, Marco, that was genius.
And he was pretty quick on the edit there, too.
Yeah. Impressive.
People that I don't know are retweeting it, which is kind of like college football players that have no connection to snacks other than I guess they follow them, like from Cal, and they started retweeting it. It's pretty funny.
Right.
If anyone wants to see what I did, you can check out bleedbigblue.com on Twitter and see what we got going on there.
We're dominating.
We are definitely struck. All right. Tara gave me a like and a dislike all at the same time. What's up with that, Tara?
She don't like it. There's a love and hate relationship, and that's usual female stuff. So that's fine.
It's my maybe it is my Maybe it is my typical female romance. Up. I think we have someone on the line. Hello, caller.
What's going on, guys? I'm sorry I was late. I was sacrificing small babies with Kathy Griffin. So,
like I said earlier today, your personal Facebook page rips me the fuck up, man. I can't take it.
Do you realize that in the first 15 minutes of this podcast, we've called out Hall of Famer Chris Carter?
Mm-hmm.
Please call in. And now we're waxing poetic about political issues. I love it.
It's both ends of the spectrum. I mean, we give it to you from all angles. But that's why I was late.
Yeah.
The babies wouldn't stand still. Kathy was a little squidgy, so, shit happens. We've moved past it. How many likes and dislikes are you gonna get for that one?
I'm waiting for them to roll on in.
Yeah, we're obviously open up for questions. So anybody wants to get anything off their chest, hey, let us know.
What were you
James,
I heard something about sex.
James.
Yo.
Are you tired of Chris Carter talking for Odell Beckham Jr.?
I'm tired of all of this. I don't know, guys. I love him, but I mean the drama part of this shit. We got a chance to win a Super Bowl. We got a legitimate chance to win a Super Bowl. And here's what I'm hoping. And this is really, there's no way to really answer this until they hit the field and we see them, going at it when the games matter on Sundays. Is this an issue in the locker room, right? Because if this is something that we're talking about and the media is talking about, who gives a shit, right? I mean, if this is just fodder to get to training camp and we're going to talk about this and it's something he's not going to OTAs, blah, 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 that's one thing. How is this being perceived in the locker room? That's my concern. I don't know that it's happening. I'm not going to be presumptuous that it's happening, but I question how long before there's a chink in the armor. And all it takes, guys, is one guy to look at another guy and be like, man, really? And that's where it starts. And then it goes through like a fucking cancer. And I'm not saying that we're even close to that. I don't know. I'm not in the locker room. But you look at just one thing after the other, and it's like, dude, could you just play? You're so good that you don't have to do any of this. Just show up. And with the OTA stuff, I get it. Like from both ends of the spectrum. Like I understand what he's saying, that it's not mandatory, blah 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 blah. But there's a way to go about your business, right? Like you could have went to the training facility and you could have caught passes from Johnny Manziel, and it's the same thing, guys, that goes back to the boat in Miami. You could have did all these things and not have anybody fucking know about it. But Odell has to put it out there. And it doesn't have to be. Like, if you're not going to show up, if you're not going to be on the field with Brandon Marshall the first time he's going to take passes in a Giants uniform from Eli in a team function, if you're not going to be in that arena with those guys moving towards the goal of winning the Super Bowl, starting the process with them, if you choose because it's mandatory that you're going to do your workouts personally, God bless. If it's not under your contract, then you're not obligated to be there. I have no problem doing so. But when you start posting pictures of Manziel when you could be with Eli, and that was on day 2 of the OTAs, guys. So even if he went to that training facility and worked his balls off and posted that video and got on a plane that night and was in Jersey the next day, you're telling me that's not feasible? but instead he posts pictures of him and Manziel. Now, you could have went and worked out with Manziel, and I'm sure if OBJ would have said, hey, Johnny, listen, let's keep this off of social media. I'm not trying to create a stir. I play in New York. I don't think Manziel would have had a problem with that if they're so fucking close. But no, that's not even in the train of thought. And that's troubling, is that he's not thinking about it. And I'm sorry I'm going off on a rant, but there's just... It may not be a problem. It could be a problem. I hope it's not a problem.
It's just filler. I mean, because the fact is, other people missed the training camp, and you heard nothing. Vernon, who's one of the top players, was not there.
I don't want to hear it. He's the best player in the league. I don't want to hear it.
Right.
Well,
here's my thing.
He's the face of your franchise. The goal is to win a Super Bowl. I don't know about Vernon. I get him too, mandatory. But you know what Vernon? The difference between Vernon and OBJ. I didn't know Vernon was missing until day 4, and the shitstorm about OBJ showed up, and then people started saying, "Well, Vernon didn't show up." No one knew because Vernon was all over the place.
That's the thing, though. So everybody knows who Dell is. No one knows who Vernon is. So that's self-paid.
Wait a minute, though. Wait a minute, because even if Beckham wasn't the most recognizable fucking face, even if it wasn't that scenario, Vernon could have been on social media like, "Hey, here I am in fucking Venice Beach." He wasn't. Because it would have been all over the place.
Here's the other thing, and this is something that, you know, I would hope that Odell's thought about and measured out. Is if you want to be the forget the face of the Giants, you could make an argument he's the face of the league. If you want to be a face of the NFL, then you're a face of the NFL. You're not just a face of the NFL when it's convenient for you. You're a face at all times. And so what you do is going to be top-notch news. Ask Rob Gronkowski. Ask Tom Brady. It's part of the package. And Odell's out on social media trying to get as many Instagram followers as he can, trying to get as many Twitter followers as he can. You know, and that part of the celebrity is okay with him. But, you know, the part of the celebrity that puts him, you know, in the eye of the microscope is a problem for him. And he can't have it both ways. He's got to pick and choose. You want to be a star, you got to embrace everything that comes along with it. And Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski do that. They may not like it, but it's part of what they do, and it's part of the life that they live, and they've embraced it to a certain extent. And I don't see Odell wanting to do that. When things get hard, he lets Chris Carter use his situation as fodder for his new show on FS1. I don't want to hear Chris Carter talking. If you don't have the cojones to talk for yourself, then shut up. Don't use your social media account to call out the head coach.
I got something that's going to let you guys fire a little bit. You know what? How much is the difference between Odell and what Gronk does? Not a whole lot. Gronk's out there in the public. Gronk's out there in the public partying,
right?
Doing all the same stuff Odell's doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's the difference? And they don't get in trouble. That's the main thing. At least I'm not worried about Odell shooting himself in the leg. I'm not worried about that.
Shots fired. Plaxico Burress, if you're listening, please call
in.
Plaxico,
I'm still mad about that season. Plaxico, that would have been another ring. Piece of shit.
So, one thing that in this whole Odell not showing up to OTAs, you guys know I don't give two shits about it. James, your phone is busted up. Try to recall in. I found out that if he, God forbid, knock on wood, if he does get injured while he's not reported, his money's not guaranteed. If he gets injured while at a Giants facility, then he would be granted because of his contract would kick in. But if he gets injured outside while working out, it's dicey territory.
He's got his Nike deal. He's good.
I mean, Nike's paying him the most. And let's see what.
But you know what? I don't want to. This is what we got into last week was Odell bashing. I don't want to Odell bash because he's our best player. Period.
No,
he is
our best player.
Well, let's just see what he does on the field. I don't care. The only thing that pisses me off is don't talk shit, get out on your Twitter, and then drop 3-4 balls in the playoffs. That pissed me off. Oh, I'm glad you're out there with no shirt on when it's 0 degrees out. Good for you. But you know what? Catch the damn ball.
That's what he's signing himself up for, though. Game 1 against Dallas, if he has a key drop in a key moment, it's a downward spiral.
The thing is, though, and I think it's definitely going to change this year, the pressure's not on him anymore. Because let's put it this way, when it was like 3rd and 12, everybody in the stadium knows who it's going to. Eli's going to either try to force it to Odell or whatever, for whatever reason, Eli likes to throw to Will Tye.
Will Tye.
But now we don't have to do that. Odell's going to get open. If he's not, Brandon Marshall's going to get open. So we have our big targets. And from what I'm hearing, the awesome thing is, not only with, Evan Ingram getting in the mix, I've heard Terrell Adams has had a great camp so far. And I heard he's fast. And he was always big and fast, good tight end anyway. I really think Will Tye's not making the team. That's my little hot take right now. I think Will Tye is a big cut.
That is a hot take.
I think Will Tye is getting cut, huh?
I'm calling it right now. Before preseason, Will Tye is fighting for his job. Because the fact is, they all bitched about the tight end blocking and who was the tight end on the field most of the time. Will Tye. They're not going to give up Terrell Adams. He was a draft pick. And, he's got solid talent, and he's actually a better blocker than Will Tye anyway. I think it's Will Tye and Matt LaCrosse are fighting for a position.
If anyone on Facebook wants to call in, it's 516-453-9383. James, your phone is crazy static. Try to call back in. I see you're on hold. We also have a little movement. Victor Cruz, new home. Congratulations. He's now in Chicago. So.
I tell you what, those pictures of him on social media in a Bears uniform, they're. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
I felt the same way when Antrell Roll went there. But you know what? That's fine. Go there. I'm glad they gave you a contract. But we saw what's going to happen. You can't separate. You're not a good receiver anymore.
Mm-hmm. What
I hope.
Just time to move on.
Is he the third option or the second option?
Well, with that wide receiver core, who knows what option he is? He might be number 1.
Is Kevin White healthy?
I don't think Kevin White's ever going to be healthy.
They had like a 7th round rookie last year. That'll be the first option. I can't think of his name right now. Let me do some research.
Where's our stats? Where's our fucking intern? Where's the intern?
Yeah. Todd, if you're listening, call in.
Is he on
Todd,
break?
look up who the top wide receiver is for Chicago, Todd. Call it in. Or write in the messages.
He hasn't logged in. Oh, we got a few agreements on Will Ty.
They know it.
Meet the Mets. He agrees with you. Ty is gone. Yeesh.
Hey, this is what you hear, Bleedbigblue. We're on top of hot takes early.
Cameron Meredith is the Bears' number 1 wide receiver.
Okay,
exactly.
We got a call. Caller, I'm putting you through.
Yeah, it's what's up? It's me and Kathy Griffin again.
Hi, Kathy.
I'm calling from her phone.
Yeah, it's a number threw me off.
I told you. I'm with Kathy.
Oh my
Watch out, Kathy.
This sounds crystal smooth, Kathy. You have such a manly voice, by the way.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm me. I'm James, but Kathy is here. I'm just using her phone because mine's all the club. Yeah. So she won't talk with the whole media thing going on. She issued her apology. It's over. Let's get past it. Next.
All right. James? I would
Victor
love
Cruz
to hear.
is not making the Bears. By the way,
He's not even going to make the team.
You had your hot take with Will Ty. Here's my fucking hot take. Cut. Zoolander. Cut.
Here's the thing that I don't understand. All right? And before anybody jumps on me and says I'm being a hater, I'm just being real. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Get the button ready.
Hold on. Go ahead.
So, the Bears and the Giants aren't on the same plane. Like,
you're
I'm
such a
excited
hater.
that Victor found a team to sign him, but if he thinks that, like, the Bears signing him somehow indicates that the Giants should think that he still has the ability to contribute for them, he's crazy.
And here's why I'm gonna say that he has no shot in fuck. Yeah, 100%. So would you rather give that roster spot to Victor Cruz at 30 years old with a bad knee, or to a young kid to fucking develop throughout the season? He's a camp spot.
You're exactly right. But for Victor to go on the radio and somehow say that because the Bears signed him, that meant that the Giants were holding the football away from him to not bring him back. It's just in, Victor. I watched all season. You weren't open.
These Giant fans will defend this guy until the cows come home, dude, right? So, I mean, he had a great season in 2011. We won a Super Bowl. He had a great season in 2012. Injury. Okay. It's a long time since then, right? And he really hasn't done a fucking thing. Like, he came back, and that was great, but even the comeback was annoying.
He was on the
challenge. It had to be the fucking return, right? It had to be labeled. It had to be the return. And then he comes back, and he's okay, but he's not the same. He wasn't the same, and he couldn't get open. The part of his game that was so good was his chemistry with Eli mixed with his ability to just fucking change directions on a dime. And when you lose that, and you lose a step, and you're 30 years old, you're easy to cover when you're not 6'3" and can't win physically on the outside. His game is dependent on quickness, speed, and God love him, he doesn't have it anymore. Now, to come out and say the Giants sabotaged you. To come out and say the Giants sabotaged you, like Eli wasn't going to throw him. Who sabotaged you, Victor? Because
Giants paid him for 2 years to get him back from that injury.
He threw Eli under the fucking bus with the memorabilia thing, which was unwarranted and was bullshit. Okay? And then he has the balls to say the Giants sabotaged him. They didn't want him to get his numbers. He was on the field. It wasn't like they benched him. So what is he saying? That Eli neglected to get him the fucking ball? Why? If he was open, Eli wouldn't have thrown it to him? Fuck him.
And that's my issue with him. The injury he had, hey, nobody usually comes back from the injury he had anyway. And Giants gave him 2 years to come back. Paid him for 2 years to come back.
Which no team does.
And you
God
know what?
love him.
Yeah, and
Hey,
you know what? He tried. You know what? He did the best he could, but he lost steps.
He played a whole season last year. No one thought he could do that. He showed up and he played a whole season. I tip my cap to you. But you're not good anymore, Victor. You're a male model now. Your off-the-field life is much more important than your football life. It's obvious from your actions, the way you speak, everything. You're more worried about your brand. You have your ring. So go away.
You can't help the Chicago Bears, you know, they buy at the Giants garage sale. That's what Bears do. They're like, oh, you got an intro roll? I'll take that. Well, $5.
Sounds good to me. I'll put that in there.
Oh, I'll give you a Cruz on top of that. Fine, that's awesome. You know, let them see you. Chicago's horrible.
Yeah, but you know what Chicago's doing? Chicago's taking a flash in the pan. Chicago has it's $1 million, $2 million on their cap if he makes the fucking team, right? So they're really paying him peanuts to come to fucking camp. So he comes to camp. If they strike gold and it's Victor Cruz from 2011, fucking great. We hit the jackpot. If it's not, bye. It's costing them literally nothing to bring them in. This isn't some huge. Everybody's like, oh, Victor Cruz got a job. Victor Cruz is with the Bears. Well, God bless. God bless. He got a fucking let's see what you got offer. He didn't get a 4-year, $36 million deal. He didn't get a 2-year, $12 million deal. He got a 1-year, $2 million contract.
No, I'm going to put this out there. I like Victor Cruz. I was a big fan of when he was a Giant.
I think we all were.
Absolutely. But the thing is, he is one of the most overhyped Giants ever, as far as love affair with these Giants fans.
Well, that's my thing. Is I talk to these people and they're like, oh, well, you can't say that about Victor. I'm like, guys, there are other Giants that. Like you talk about, like Plaxico Burress has a worse rap than Victor Cruz, and when you think about it, look at the 2 careers that the guys had. Like Plax was a Giant for a longer period of time, has a ring, played a huge role in getting to that ring. Victor was a Giant for he had 2 good seasons.
Well, I'll give you another guy. Why is it everybody shit on Husky Nicks? He had more good years than Victor Cruz, and he's half the reason that Victor Cruz had good years.
And he had a ring.
Yeah. He was the number 1 threat during the Super Bowl year.
I mean, did they hold this guy up on such why? Because he fucking does the salsa? I mean, come on. I mean, come on. Come on, guys. We're better than that. This isn't Dallas, where they could dance a little bit and then say whatever they want and shit.
A lot of people are agreeing with you in the comments section. How about that? How it is taken a turn. About Cruz, he's washed up. He can go below the knee.
Look at James going face turn. He's going face turn.
James is now Hogan, not Hollywood Hogan anymore.
That's right.
The red and yellow boa.
I've been saying my prayers and eating my vitamins, little brothers.
Beloved icon.
Okay, guys, I'm going to give you a question right now, just because Victor Cruz thing has bothered me. Who's your most overhyped Giant ever? Without saying Victor Cruz.
Because
like,
I love him.
Giants love him, but you don't understand why.
Giant fans.
Giants love him, and we don't understand why.
Doesn't it have to be current? It doesn't have to be current, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say current. Well, we saw him play. Let's say that. Let's put it that.
Kerry
we
Collins.
saw him play.
Yeah. I'll put myself on this. I have an irrational love for Kerry Collins.
Yeah, I know. Fucking Kerry Collins.
I love Kerry Collins.
I can't with Kerry Collins. I've never seen a grown man more scared to play a football game than I did in Super Bowl 20. Super Bowl, what was it? In 2000 when they got fucking lamb.
Oh yeah, that game was over.
That motherfucker he was petrified. I've never seen a man more scared to play a game in my life. I remember kids in high school that weren't as scared to play as Kerry Collins was on that day. Ray Lewis knew he won that game at the coin toss. They didn't even fucking play a snap yet. It was over the minute he looked into his eyes. I think he was a product of that offense and the talent, or he has some good talent around him. He was good. He was serviceable, but he was never a guy that was going to fucking. And you saw how paper thin the NFC was that year that they got to the Super Bowl when they got to the Super Bowl.
All right, I know my guy. Tim, do you want to go first?
No, you go ahead. I'm still thinking.
Steve Weatherford. Just because you're in the gym.
30
my
hours
God.
a night. That was a great call. Great call on that one.
Great job.
That you could punt. It would drive
Give yourself
me
a hand on that one. Give yourself a hand.
Great
Marco.
job.
Hold on.
That's a great job. Yeah, give me applause for that. That was a good one. And Giants fans love him. They love Weatherford. I'm like, he's this fucking bum? Really?
He's a fucking punter.
Oh.
So, my guy is Weatherford, and for all the people that think he's interacting with them on social media, he doesn't even log into his account. He has a dude do it for him. I know that for a fact. He might go on there once in a while and like your picture on Instagram or something, but most likely it's not him. So don't think you have a one-on-one connection with Steve Weatherford. I hate you first of all. And yes, to be honest, he had a few good years with the Giants, but it was a few good years.
Yeah, hey, let's not fucking blow the guy, for Christ's sakes. Oh.
Well, I'm gonna throw a guy out there, which I'm gonna get some haterade on her.
Oh, hold on. Wait. We got breaking news.
Here's my heel turn.
From a reliable source, which is one of our followers on YouTube, Cruz went on CBS Radio yesterday is saying he was blackballed. CBS Radio in Chicago. He's going to send the link.
He was blackballed. He tried out for 4 teams.
He was blackballed.
Blackballed?
He's going to get the link.
Guys, did he not turn into fucking Zoolander? Did I not call it like 3 years in advance? I totally have been blackballed by the industry. They don't want a receiver. They don't want a receiver that's incredibly, very, 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 very good looking.
I just want to put out there that Anquan Boldin hasn't even got as many tryouts as Victor Cruz has. Victor Cruz is literally trying out for 4 different teams.
Hey guys, I'm Victor Cruz. Can you see him like fucking just strutting in the fucking, just strutting, like doing like down the catwalk during his interview? I tell you, my knee's perfectly fine. Look at my good look that I've been working on. I call it Magnum.
Blue Steel. Blue Steel.
All right. So we got a few names out there for most loved, but we don't really know why. And Meet Dumets is saying, what about Brandon Jacobs?
No.
I like Jacobs.
I like
good years.
Jacobs has. Jacobs has 2 rings, right? If I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
and really was just even when he got older, like in 2007, he was a fucking just straight beast. And then he had those good years leading up to it. In 2011, he was losing a step, but guys, tell me if he wasn't the fucking, like the tone.
You know, it was guaranteed 2 yards, 2-3 yards. If we needed it, Jacobs had it, not even a problem.
He ran hard, man. He really did. He always ran hard. And he took shots to the lower body, and he was always banged up, and he was always playing.
I used to, when he first started, and he would just be blowing up a Dallas Cowboy defender, just who's just trying to tackle, and just keeps on going.
Oh, the hit. I mean, there's a couple.
There's so many teams.
I think about Brandon Jacobs. How about the hit on Woodson to start the game off in Green Bay? Right? You think about that game, right? Now, how about the following season on opening night in Washington when they're hosting Washington, and he breaks into the second level and he fucking just runs over it. I mean, you can go back and look at some of the runs he had. It's to have a guy like that big and that strong, that could run that hard. He was a weapon. People would not want to tackle him.
I'm going to give you guys somebody that I should get a lot of hate for, especially the older guys. Joe Morris.
Fuck you.
Joe Morris he's loved by Giants fans, had one good season. Maybe two.
Fuck you. Talk about fucking Mighty Joe.
Well, we found something.
Here's a quick nugget about Joe Morris. I met Joe Morris once. I was a teenager working at Nike in the Woodbury Commons in upstate New York, and Joe Morris came into the store. I was working in the stock room, and my manager came back. He was like, "You're a Giants fan, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Joe Morris is here." I was like, "Now the stock employees weren't allowed to fucking go to the front of the store, right?" So I'm like, "Well, I'm going to see Joe Morris," and they were like, "No, you can't. I have to fire you." I was like, "Well, then you're going to have to do what you're going to have to do because I'm going to see Joe Morris. This is like my manager. I have a good relationship with him. I hang out with him. I'm like, motherfucker, you got to fire me. I'm going to. You should have never told me he was in the store. You knew I was going." So I go out, and I'm like, "Mr. Morris, I don't want to take a lot of your time. I just wanted to say I'm a big fan. I just wanted to shake your hand and say thank you for all the memories you gave me as a little kid." He goes, "Hey, man, no problem. I appreciate you saying that." And totally fine, normal exchange. Oh, it gets worse. A totally fine, normal exchange between a fan and a player. The man sticks out his hand. I proceed to shake it and realize I'm touching the '86 Super Bowl ring. At that point, I almost ripped Joe Morris's arm out of his socket. And I'm like, "Oh, my God, is that the '86 Super Bowl ring?" And he looks at me like he's like, "Oh, my God, this fucking kid's crazy." He's like, "Yeah, it is. That's the '86 ring, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Oh, my God, that's amazing." I'm like, "That's so cool." And I'm just standing there like fucking Chris Farley when he used to, "You remember the time?
Right.
It used to be so cool. Remember?" So, long story short, I got suspended for 2 days from work, but I was able to go back and get my job.
That's totally worth it.
Have any of you guys actually put on a real Super Bowl ring?
No.
Marco probably has like 10 in the house right now.
Yeah, Marco's got a bunch of them.
It wasn't. I have put on a Super Bowl ring, but it wasn't associated with the the players. So I knew when I lived in Iowa, I knew a former NFL ref, and he refed a Super Bowl. And he came to my school one day, and he had lunch with me and the principal, and he wore his Super Bowl ring that day. I was like 7 or 8 years old, and he gave me his ring to try on. That was pretty cool. But it didn't have any like diamonds or anything. It was just like a gold ring with the Super Bowl.
The refs get rings?
Emblem for that year. Yeah, if they ref the game, they get a ring. At least they did in 1993.
That's tight.
So
Refs get rings, yo.
Yeah, that's something you learn something every day.
Yeah.
So, you know, my friend who's pig guy who's in Shea Stadium. So he had the band Shea for a little bit. We got invited to a Mets event, and it was like Doc Gooden was there. I forget what the actual event was, but it was like pretty like it was a party, and a lot of people were drinking and stuff like that. So I turn around, I'm at the bar. I'm with my wife. I'm pretty drunk. I'm with him and his wife. And there's Sean Landetta right there. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, that's fucking Sean Landetta. And I look down. Boom! Ring. I was like, oh my God, this is like the craziest. So I was like, oh, let me try on the ring. So there's pictures of everyone with Sean Landetta the ring, and we all look like hammered on the head, including Landetta. It was pretty funny.
You know, you fucked, man. Because when I met Morris, like we didn't have, it was fucking like 1995. There were no fucking cell phones, bro. I couldn't take out my beeper and take a picture with him or take a selfie with him.
It was in an old phone that I got this, like I dropped it in a puddle of water or some shit like that, and I lost the photo. Yeah.
I just want to put it out there that Steve Weatherford has nothing on Sean Landetta.
No, nothing.
Truth bomb.
Even with Landetta blowing that kick in 85, he still has nothing on Landetta. And blowing that kick in 85 was enough to get Sean Landetta killed in 1985.
Well, he's no
for any of you young guys that don't remember that, in 1985, the New York Giants went into Soldier Field to play the vaunted Chicago Bears. Walter Payton, the 85 Bears defense that you've heard about, that you played with on Madden and killed people with, that defense, right? So the Giants go in there and they play them tough, man. It's 7-0, and you can go and you can Google this and look at it on YouTube. The Giants are playing a game of field position, defense. They have to punt from deep in their own territory. Sean Landetta takes the snap, takes a step, drops the ball, goes to kick it, and misses. Bears score a touchdown. Giants go on to lose 21-0. And you know that ends up being the cookie that crumbled that ended up leading to them winning Super Bowl in '86. That loss stayed with them, and they were able to win in '86, which I guess is a good thing. But at the time, man, that was like a Flipper Anderson, bro. That hurt. Imagine being an 8-year-old and imagine being an 8-year-old kid and trying to wonder how the fuck Sean Landetta misses the ball.
You're only 8.
I was 8. And I knew what hate and fury felt like at that very moment at 8 years old.
The Giants game that led to that for me, I was a little bit older. This was early 2002 against the 49ers in the divisional round.
Oh, that San Francisco game, that pissed me off so fucking bad.
You fucking Kerry Collins, who couldn't make a throw in the fourth quarter, motherfucker.
No, when our offensive lineman gives pass interference on our shitty field goal.
Everybody wanted to blame that on that poor guy. That what people don't realize is that
game.
Go ahead.
After they lost that game, I didn't speak. My boss at the time was a huge Eagles fan. So I went into work the next day, and, he had on his Eagles jersey. But I must have looked super pissed because he didn't say anything to me. That was a Monday. I didn't say anything at work until the Thursday that week. I came in Thursday morning and I said, I've squashed it, it's over. And he was like, Jesus, I've never seen you go that long without talking.
You know, so far I've heard from you, from Justin and James. You guys shouldn't be working during like Giants season.
No, how about you want to hear a funny story about that game, Justin? About that Niners game?
Sure.
That was early in mine and Brandy's relationship, right? At that point, we were going through some difficulties. She actually took off on me. She was like, "Fuck this guy, I'm out. He's insane. Can't do it anymore." Completely warranted, right? So she tried to cut off the cable on me because it was in her name, because she knew I was going to be watching the Giants 49ers game. Right? So wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute, right? So now the Giants 49ers play. That game happens, right? I'm totally fucking devastated, right? The game, I get to watch the whole game because it was on a Sunday, right? The next day, Monday, I'm in an empty apartment. She just left. The Giants just lost. All I want to do is sit down and watch Mike Francesa and the Mad Dog just rip them. I go to fucking watch it, and it's like, "Good afternoon, everybody. How are you?"
Why are you yelling?
The fucking cable freezes. I was like, "This
Way to go,
bitch."
Brandy.
Yeah,
They could have
tip of
been
the cap
there
to Brandy. Tip of the
They could have
cap to
been there in the
Brandy.
game. Oh God.
But it's games like that and that dreaded Deshaun Jackson game, which I got in the fetal position in the dark after that game. That's not. I'm not even lying about that.
The Matt Dodge part.
That game hurt.
I was at my parents' house. My brother was watching the game over at his girlfriend's. He knew I was at my parents' house. When the game ended, he waited an hour. He called me. My mom answered the phone because that was before cell phones, really. And my mom said, "He's not talking to anybody." And my brother was like, "Put him on the phone." And he was like, this is what he said to me. I'll never forget this. He goes, "How many Super Bowls do we have?" And I said, "That doesn't matter." And he said, "Answer the question." And I said, at that point we had, what, 4? 3? 3? I think.
Yeah.
And he was like, "How many did the Eagles have?" And I said, 0. And he said, "That's your stock line when anybody fucks with you in Philadelphia."
That Matt Dodge punt, man. I don't know who's more red in the face, Tom Coughlin or my father-in-law.
Yo, but you know what's funny about both of those games, right? Like those are like the snapshots of what we remember is like that the bad field goal attempt where it should have been interference and it was just a clusterfuck, and then Dodge kicking the ball to those were problems. Like if you remember and you go back to the beginning of that year, like the Giants had problems with their snapper and holder all year long. The Giants had problems with Dodge all year long. So there were problems that just reared themselves the worst times, but there were problems all season long nonetheless. That's the reason why I like the team that we got going into this season. I don't think there's many weaknesses that we have across the board on the roster.
Yeah,
especially now that I've seen a picture of Eric Flowers. Good God. He looks
slim and trim now.
And ready.
Some people are bringing up, the linebackers aren't as strong. I don't think they're that bad.
The problem is the linebackers don't have to be that strong.
Yeah. For what a linebacker needs to be in 2017, we're fine.
Yeah. All we need is 2 to play well. E2.
No, I think that you guys have to look at the linebackers the way I'm going to look at. Let's ask the fans. Fans, listen to me. These guys are all worried about the linebackers. Here's the thing. In the NFL today, it's about packages. The Giants know they have a dominant front four and they have a dominant backside, right? So they're able to use the linebacker spot to match up with what the defenses are doing. And I honestly think that this is the reason why they're not going to put a big-name free agent in here, or they're going to draft high at this spot, because I think what they do is they're going to use this as a committee. And if it's the down and distance are going to dictate, and the package that the offense is in is going to dictate what linebackers you see on the field. So if a team has a run package in, you're going to see Goodson and Kennard and Casillas. If a team has a passing package in, you're going to see Casillas and Robinson in the game. Maybe J.T. Thomas in certain situations along with Robinson, guys who are good in coverage. So I think when you look at the linebacking core like that, I think they could be a strength, because you got guys that are playing to their strengths. They're not being asked to do anything that they're not good at. Spagnuolo's putting them in position to play at their strengths. So I'm not really concerned about it. I think there's good talent there that you can mix in.
The big wild card is B.J. Goodson. We don't know. We don't know what he's going to do. Because if he plays up to his potential, then exactly what you said, linebacker core is a strength. Period.
Yeah, I think Goodson is a big. I think they showed a lot in two guys in the off season. They showed more than I thought they were going to show by having faith in these guys. And the two guys are Goodson and Perkins, because they didn't really address middle linebacker anywhere, and they pretty much said, okay, the job is going to be his. They re-signed Robinson, but we know what Robinson is. Robinson is a coverage guy, right? He's not a blow up the run linebacker. That's Goodson. So not having anybody really, they're expecting this kid to take the next step. And Perkins, by not bringing in a veteran back, or at least they have not brought in a veteran back as of yet, and they have Gallman, who's very young, Vereen, who is not a pounding back, who's a guy that you're going to use in situations. Drones is a guy that can get some carries, but he's not a star. Perkins is your guy. They're showing a lot by thinking that this kid can run between the tackles over a 16-game season. They're taking a big shot on both of those guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's time for the percolator.
It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator.
All right. What do you guys think about what John Mara said in reference to Colin Kaepernick?
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
Oh, my God. Everybody just wants a story. Who cares if Colin Kaepernick gets a job? Colin Kaepernick's shitty.
He can't
quarterback, and then what are you going to deal with? You don't deal with issues when you're a shitty quarterback.
Tim, Tim, let me put this, because I don't want us to get the wrong impression that we're. But let's look at this from an intelligent, wide spectrum point of view. Colin Kaepernick, at least I'll speak for myself. Colin Kaepernick, no problem with the protest. He did it silently. He did it respectfully. He did it on his own terms. I'm fine with that. He incited no violence. He was articulate in the reason why he was doing what he was doing. Agree with it or don't agree with it. It's America. He's fucking protesting silently. Leave it be. Another separate issue. The man on a humanitarian level cannot be matched as an athlete. Okay? What he does for communities, the people in his area, the people in other countries that he contributes money and time to, what he's done to try to bring focus to just people being better and decent, more fucking, just a better people. Tip of the cap, right?
Yep, no problem with that.
Completely different separation than that. He's not a very good fucking quarterback.
Exactly. I would take Gino over Colin Kaepernick, just in the way Kaepernick's a running quarterback. Period.
And to put that into perspective, because a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, wait a minute, he's fucking better than half of these other quarterbacks in the league, and they have jobs." Well, slow down, okay? Because if you're telling me that I'm putting Colin Kaepernick into a pistol offense, I'll listen. But I'm not changing my offense for Colin Kaepernick, and the odds are I'm not running a pistol offense. So I have no fucking use for Colin Kaepernick because he can't anticipate, he has no accuracy, he can't throw a deep pass, he has no timing, he's a fucking wreck, he can't read a defense at all. Why do I need a guy like that?
Exactly.
Well,
okay, so
I want to take it a step further as well.
There's my point of view. There you go.
I'm gonna take it a step further. I agree with everything that you said, James. But I'm gonna look at it from the Giants' perspective in a little bit of a different way. What Giants fans need to realize is that if any quarterback other than Eli Manning plays significant time this year, it's not a good thing. We will not have a good record. We will be picking at the top of the draft. And so, with that...
No, David wants you to take over.
Gino.
No, David
that said...
Gino.
John Mayer was exactly right. Colin Kaepernick's not worth all the things that come along with him for the role that he would play on this team.
100%.
Exactly. It's just like people. Sam said.
If you thought that he had a legitimate chance to play, I believe that there's a skill set there that you might be able to capitalize on and mine some things out of, for lack of a better way to put it. But if you're bringing in somebody to be your backup quarterback, you got to ask yourself, are the things that he's going to bring off the field worth what he's going to contribute on it? And in Colin Kaepernick's case for the New York Giants, the answer is unequivocally no.
And go ahead, Tim.
I agree with basically all three of you.
One more.
The problem is that Mara shot himself in the foot with the whole how he handled the Josh Brown situation.
I was just about to bring that up.
It just puts a huge spotlight on it.
Well, I don't see. Here's the thing.
I don't think. Yeah, go ahead.
People are bringing that up, right? And they're going to scream and they're going to say, "Oh, so you're saying that you don't have a problem with a woman beater on your roster, but you have a problem with Colin Kaepernick?" No, that's not what we're saying. And I'll be the first to tell you the Giants were late in what they did. He should have been fired way before, okay? And that's on the Giants, and that's egg on their face. But let us not mix apples with oranges. Not wanting Colin Kaepernick on your team is a completely different situation. The Giants fucked up with Josh Brown. Leave it at that, okay? But I don't think that you can say because we don't want Colin Kaepernick on the team that one would condone the actions of Josh Brown at all. I don't see that. I don't see the correlation between the two. I think people are fucking reaching.
Giants have shown when they, for any player, they try to back up their players as best they can, no matter what. Obviously, with Josh Brown, to a fault at that point. They went a little late.
Yeah, to a fault. They were late, and they were wrong.
They were late, but they were still trying to back up their player as much as they can. And that's what they're going to do.
But they were wrong.
But
they had information. They actually came out and spoke against themselves a couple of times where Mara and guys were quoted that they knew of certain information prior to us knowing certain information. So that means that they had a chance to get ahead of it and be like, listen, we're cutting ties. They didn't have to disclose any information or put Josh Brown's shit out there, but they could have been ahead of the curve and separated ties with Josh Brown. So when the information came out, they could say, hey, listen, yeah, we were aware, but we didn't fucking feel it was all right. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do that. Yeah. They decided to say, okay, we're gonna just try to get through this, and then it came out and it bit them in the ass. So they were wrong. I mean, I'm a diehard Giant fan, but let's when they're wrong, let's fucking just say they're wrong. Let's not be an Eagle fan or a Redskin fan or a Cowboy fan. Let's call it.
I'm with you. I mean, they were definitely wrong. They're definitely wrong.
And they fucked up. But you can't mix. But that has nothing to do with this.
No. And
the only
this
thing
guys,
to do with
if there's any time there's controversy with any player, especially when, let's say, it comes to the draft, the Giants won't touch a player. They're just the way they are. They don't want to deal with bullshit, especially bringing you in. They'll deal with your shit when you're on the team. But that
we said that this team is close to winning the Super Bowl. Why would you want to bring that you're already dealing with? Not to go back and say that this is a huge issue, but let's call a spade a spade. You already have in New York, the media capital of the world. You have Odell Beckham Jr. Now you want to bring Colin Kaepernick into that when he's not even going to be competing for a starting job. Why? That's a circus, and it's a distraction for the team. God bless the Colin Kaepernick. And if teams are blackballing him, and he's a fit, and they're looking at it saying, you know what, this guy, he's better, Kaepernick is better, but we're not going to give him a job because of this, and he's a fit in their offense, and it makes sense, and they're not giving him a job because of that, that's bullshit. But when you look at it from a Giants perspective,
what I say?
It doesn't make sense.
You know what I say to people who say that Colin Kaepernick is getting blackballed? He's in good company. Victor Cruz got blackballed.
They should go out and fucking start a flag football team together.
Right. Go play in Canada.
For a minute there, I thought.
And again, Kaepernick, like, the shit that he does for other people and less fortunate people, if you go and you look at the things that he does and the money he is, giving away to charities and the time and the effort that he has put in to doing the rebuilding countries.
Marco, do you have a violin?
Unbelievable.
Do you have a violin playing?
It's the truth. Because I don't want it to sit here. I don't want people to get it twisted, dude, because it's a sensitive subject. And if people listening get fired up about it. And rightly so. I mean, it's a racial issue, it's a political issue, it's a football issue. I mean, people go fucking ape shit for those. I mean, the only thing that's missing is religion, for Christ's sakes. So, I mean, I just want to be clear that I think that as a person, I think he's phenomenal, but I just don't think he's a very good quarterback. I'm sorry.
Exactly. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
If you were good enough to play and people wanted you to play, guess what? They'll deal with the bullshit. You're just not that good. And from what I understand, it sounds like he wants to be paid like a starting quarterback, and that's the other thing. No one's going to pay him big
money.
That's
the other thing. Yeah, agreed.
Hold on. Let me tell you what I think about that comment. Hold on. There's the money.
Ding,
how much
money.
does he want to get paid? He was getting how much was his last contract? $8 million a year, I believe.
He got like $15 million or something like that, or $18 million.
18. If anyone's on the Google, look up what he was getting paid last year, and then.
Yeah, where the fuck is our intern?
He's on spring break, I think. He's not in the.
Todd.
In the comment section. Todd, you're killing us, Todd.
So,
Todd,
guys,
you're supposed to be looking up shit, Todd.
I just want to say that I was doing some fantasy football research this year.
Starting early.
And I found
already?
I found an interesting way for us to draft.
Interesting.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
So let's say, just for the sake of this example, let's say we had 10 teams. All right? You put 10 shot glasses out on the table.
Mm-hmm.
9 of them have vodka in it. 1 has water. Whoever has the water shot gets the 10th pick. And you repeat that, so on and so forth.
For every round?
All the way down to the first pick. So the person that has the first pick, yeah, you have the first pick, but you just took 10 shots of vodka. Good luck.
I am not for drafting that way.
let me tell you something. If I have picked 5, that's still 5 shots of vodka. That won't make the brightest maneuver.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
so what we're talking about is
I'll take Plaxico Rice in the 6th round, please.
What we're talking about is that we're going to do a Giants fan only fantasy football draft here live on YouTube and Facebook. If you want to join in or apply to join in, we have a lot of applicants, and we'll look through them, and maybe we'll have a little contest to see who will get in, and we'll go from there.
I have a fantasy football question to throw out to you guys. I'd like to get your opinions on it. I have a little situation in my personal league, right? So I have 2 options on my rosters from last year. It's a keeper league. I get to keep one guy, and I'd have to draft him 2 spots, 2 rounds above where he was drafted last year in order to keep him. So my 2 options as of right now are this. I could take Melvin Gordon in the 3rd round, or Terrell Pryor in the 7th round.
Pryor.
Where did Pryor end up?
Washington.
He's still in Cleveland?
He's in Washington. He's in Washington. He's the number 1.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's in one. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
my league is a PPR. It's a PPR, and it has bonuses for 100-yard games, 150-yard games, 40-yard plays, and shit like that.
I'm not a Melvin Gordon guy, so I'm saying Terrell Pryor.
I would take Pryor.
Pryor, right?
Gordon,
in the 7th?
Yep.
Gordon's coming off the injury. You can do more with that 3rd-round pick than Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, what happens if you lose your 7th round pick if you keep Pryor?
No. I still have my 7th round pick, and I still have all my other picks. It's just I would have to take Gordon. I drafted Gordon in the 5th round last year. So if I'm going to keep him, I have to keep him in the 3rd. It's cost me 2 spots, 2 rounds. I drafted Terrell Pryor in the 9th round last year, so I would take him in the 7th. I can only keep one.
Right, so you're forfeiting your 7th round pick for Terrell Pryor.
I would forfeit my 7th round pick for Terrell Pryor, or I would forfeit my 3rd round pick for Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, I think it's Pryor.
Pryor, right?
Yeah, I would agree. I think you could do better than Gordon with that pick. I would go Pryor.
So do I. All right, you guys just made my decision. Thank you.
In that league, just throwing it out, so you can't keep anybody picked in the first 2 rounds.
In the first 3 rounds. But if you
took
draft
somebody
a guy
in the 3rd
round,
round, you could keep them for a 1st round pick, right?
No. We give the first 30 guys every year that are drafted go right back into the circle. It has to be from the 4th round on. It's just our quirky little rule that we have. We go 3's the magic number.
Interesting.
So we go the first 30 players are off the board. 10-team league.
Is this the league that you were in and talking about when we were employed by the same employer?
Yeah, this is my blood league. This is like I'll kill someone in the league
I remember
to win.
For those who don't have the benefit of knowing Jimmy personally, he went
the spreadsheet.
Shit. There was a multicolored spreadsheet. There was 3 days of getting amped. I was amped to be in this draft, and I'm not even in the league. Jimmy had me ready to go.
I go the whole weekend. I actually took days off from work and sandwiched them around to go for the weekend because all of our buddies come in and we're all together. We go for the draft. The draft is until Sunday at 8 o'clock, and I need Friday and the following Tuesday off not even after the Memorial Day holiday, not even after the Labor Day holiday on Monday. I need the following Tuesday off because I need to roster bait about my team for another 24 hours.
That's a great term.
I'll roster bait, baby.
Oh my Lord.
Rosterbation is always key. You all roster bait. You all look at your roster and you're like, oh my God, my team is so good. Look at my team.
This is the year.
Oh.
And then it never ends up
guy,
being the year.
And this guy, and this guy.
That is.
And Marco, is that lady in the comment section?
Did you guys not ever watch whoever's listening to this, listen to me. Do yourself a favor.
Don't even watch the league. The league is hilarious.
Yeah, that's where I got Ross debate from. And trade rape. You go watch the league, man. If you play fantasy football.
I don't remember roster bait in it.
Yeah, roster bait in it.
There was when they went to Vegas.
There's actually one where what's his face with the glasses? He actually jerks off to his roster.
Ruxin.
Ruxin.
That was on the Vegas. That was like the Vegas season.
Oh, what a great fucking show! So many good terms.
Speaking of the league.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go.
I was gonna say, did you see that the pervert cousin is in that new Will Ferrell movie where they have the casino in the basement?
Rafi.
Yeah, it's Will Ferrell and Rafi, and they decided to open up an underground casino in their basement to pay for their kids' college tuition.
I did see that.
It looks amazing.
This Snacks Harrison retweet is up to 82 retweets.
That's awesome, dude.
No, 82. Sorry, 82 likes, 29 retweets.
Nice.
All good.
Guys, can you hear that?
Yeah.
Listen, this is from the league, right? Let me paint the picture, right? So the commissioner, Kevin, who's never won the league before, they're playing to go to the championship game for the Shiva, right? Their personal trophy. And Ruxin, it all depends on the leg of this kicker. And here we go. Hold on.
It's revolt this guy, and of course Shiva. Please let him miss this kick and let me win this game. Please think himself. Hey, put Bogart in my prayer, man. Okay, this is the greatest day of my life. Today Ellie was born. Was a close second. Oh my God, we were one Jimmy field goal away from the Paul McCarthy Super Bowl. You're not joking.
Wait for it, guys.
You got a top 5 kicker for a 37-yarder with no wind in the middle. Silence! Here we go. Snap. It's good. Looks good. Okay. I know you're upset right now, but next week you're going to relax. I won! It's an absolute miracle!
Wait for it, guys.
Did you lose? Shut up. No! Every year I set this league up. Every year. And I never win. This was the year. Oh, shit. I babysit you morons. They babysit you. Oh, help me out. Do this. Move back around. Oh, I'm out of cell lineup. Taco. Ruxin. Stupid wise man. Stupid attack. My eggs. Stupid.
Everyone's watching you. He's gonna report this stanza.
There's no Santa Claus, and there's no Christmas, there's no God, there's no Easter Bunny, there's nothing. I gotta say, I feel like.
Come on, guys. You gotta watch that show.
Oh,
Classic league.
yes,
Classic.
It's
There's
done.
no God, there's no Santa, there's no Easter Bunny.
Last year was the last season, right?
Yeah, man, they're done. It got a little crazy the last 2 years, but the first couple of seasons.
I don't even think they knew what to do with the last 2 seasons.
They got to the point where it was just like they were just doing it. But the first couple of seasons, man, no doubt, hilarious television.
Oh yeah.
My God, yeah.
If you wanna veg out and watch those first 2-3 seasons, super funny shit.
Oh yeah, especially if you play fantasy, because we've all been there. We've all had that freak out when the guy misses the fucking field goal. You're watching Tampa Bay versus fucking Kansas City at 4:35 on a Sunday afternoon in the middle of November, and you're fucking ready to kill somebody because Carlos Santana or whatever that fucking guy's name is misses a 48-yard field goal.
Yep. Oh gosh.
All right, what else?
Carlos Santana.
What else is in Giants news? Anything you guys want to touch on? Anyone in the comment section have anything they want to talk about? Let me know.
Yeah.
New York football.
We got some salt Chips Ahoy cookies here, fellas. Shit's delicious, y'all.
Dun, dun, dun. It's pretty quiet. All right, hold on. What do we think? From NewJersey.com, that's a free plug. They are saying maybe we should go after fullback Michael Burton.
It's a fullback. Get out of here. No. We got Red Ellison. He's our fullback.
Yeah, we're fine. I mean, they don't value the spot that much. They got Ellison to do that dirty work. They're okay. They don't need a fucking guy like that. We're good.
So you guys are going to give it the...
Yeah. Fucking big old fucking...
They're reaching for stuff. That's what they really want to ask.
Slow news time. Slow news. Besides who comes in and out of OTAs, there's not much going on.
No, it's a quiet time of year right now.
Yeah, definitely, guys.
At least it's supposed to be. If somebody would just show up and shut the fuck up, it would be really, really quiet.
Well, he's being quiet. He's being quiet, guys.
Remember, James, Odell Beckham's not talking. Chris Carter's doing all the talking.
Oh, God. But Beckham's doing the retweeting.
And here's the thing. I said it earlier. I'm not sure. Chris Carter was good, but no playoff success.
Wow.
Well, I'm not gonna shit on Chris. I mean, Chris Carter was great, and I'm glad that he's working with him. I'm sure there's things that Chris Carter could teach him that'll help him become a better receiver. That being said, I mean, even if you're working with Chris Carter, like, there's a way to go about your business, right? Just go about even if you're not at OTAs. Like I said, nobody knew Vernon was gone until day 4 when everybody was making a big stink that OBJ was gone, and you were hearing Vernon as Vernon's not there, Vernon's not there, Vernon's not there, because no one was quiet.
All right. We got a few questions coming in. Les JD wants a prediction for this year. What do you think the record is going to be?
12-4. 12-4. Home playoff game. I don't know if they'll be the 1 seed, but I think that the worst they get a home playoff game.
They're 12-4, not the 1 seed.
You can't see Atlanta with their division or somebody going 13-3.
Nope.
14-2 in this league. I mean, the Cowboys last year, fucking, what were they? They were 14-2. I mean, that's why I said 12-4 with a preface of I don't know if it gets you the 1 seed or the 2 seed, but 12-4 at least gets you a first round bye and a home playoff game, and I think we win the Super Bowl. Sorry.
Wow.
Say it.
What's up, Homer?
I think we beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl again.
You know what I say
Wow.
to that, right? You know what I say to that?
Eli's only one beat the Patriots.
I say 11-5.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you, buddy.
I hit the button an hour ago. I don't know why it took so long to get.
That's okay. I appreciate it. I don't care how late it comes.
He just shit all over James' pick.
I'm gonna say 11-5. That's 4-2 in the NFC East. 2-2 in, or no, I'm sorry. Wait, no. 2-2 in the AFC West. 3-1 in the NFC West. And a split of Detroit and Tampa Bay.
Wow.
Huh?
So does that get me to 11-5, or is that 10-6? That might be 10-6.
I'm not even sure. I didn't do the math.
So
I think that's 10-6. So if we beat Detroit and Tampa Bay, then it'd be 11-5.
Tim, what are you thinking?
And I'm going to put a disclaimer on this one. If we are healthy, if our starters are healthy going into week 1, 14-2.
Whoa. 14-2.
14-2.
Right.
I'm gonna say, we lose a couple games we should have won during the regular season, but 14-2. We meet. I'm gonna say Tampa Bay in the NFC Championship and whoop their ass. That's my other hot take. Tampa Bay's gonna be the NFC Championship, along with. As far as AFC, I'm going to say we're playing the Raiders in the Super Bowl.
Ooh, a little upset, huh?
And you know what? We stopped them out. Super Bowl champions.
All right, so I'm gonna be realistic. I think we're gonna.
Wow, what did you
Super
say?
Bowl shots.
I know. Winning Super Bowl is not easy. So I'll
if Patriots can get 14-2, and that's not a problem, you know what? Giants can hit 14-2.
I think the Giants will go. Probably be within the 11-12 win range. Well, we're going to be a strong team. We're going to be a team that no one really wants to play in the playoffs, and we'll have a deep run. But you need health. You need a little bit of luck. So I say I probably would go with 11-5, strong 11-5, and like teams would be like, fuck. I hope we don't have to play them or play them at home or something along that line. I want to see this old line block someone before I put them in the Super Bowl. I want to see us run for 3 yards and pick up a first down.
I'm gonna also call this right now too. Eli, NFL MVP.
What?
I mean, he has a weapon.
What did you say?
Eli, NFL MVP.
Oh my Jesus. God! Yeah.
This is super optimistic Tim right now.
Yeah, but, seriously. Holy shit, Tim.
But the fact is, he's got the weapons.
You came at me because I said 12-4 and a realistic shot to win the Super Bowl, and you just said Eli Manning for MVP. What the fuck are you smoking? Bring it to Pennsylvania. Roll that shit up.
Think about this, guys, because the fact is, they're going to have a good record. So Eli's in the race right there. The fact is, they're going to be up there, as they should be. And
I hope he's not.
that he should have with the amount of weapons he has this year. And I think Ingram's really going to be that huge wild card that puts it over the top.
All right.
You know what, though? I'll
Go ahead.
say this about Tim's prediction. As outlandish as that sounds, if the Giants go 14-2 like he's speculating, Eli will be in the MVP conversation.
100%.
I mean, it's hard not to pick a quarterback who.
Guys, they went 11-5 last. Guys, they went 11-5 last year, and the offense didn't break 20 points. Oh no!
Exactly.
No! Listen to what I'm saying, Tim. I'm saying that you're saying that they can't, if they win 12, 13, 14 games, that Eli has to be in the MVP for conversation. They won 11 games last year with the offense not scoring 20 points over the last 6 games of the season. So they can conceivably get better offensively. They can conceivably get better offensively, not that much better offensively, and based on how good the defense is going to be, end up still winning more games than they did last year.
Well,
it's about how you win the games. If Eli ends up throwing the ball fucking all over the place and they're turning the ball over the first couple of games of the season and they end up fucking 3-1, but they're struggling offensively, but you catch on something with the running game and now you become more balanced, maybe they go on a little run playing the game with defensive field position and shit like that. You know what I mean? Who knows how the fucking season is going to go?
Well, think about this. Eli, if we got better in the red zone, if we were just a better red zone team last year, because we were like one of the worst in the league, and we should be, with the fact of Marshall being there and the fact of Ingram being there, there's 2 huge targets we didn't have last year with solid hands. With Sterling Shepard having another year under his belt. And Odell on top of that is a cherry. Our red zone offense should be better. And there's no way, if Eli plays up to the potential of his targets, that we can't get 3 more wins than we had last year. Especially when there's no way the defense is not going to be better than it was last year. Or there's no way it's not going to be better than it was last year. It's another year under Spagnuolo, plus we just added to it. We added to the depth.
Okay, we got another question in. Let's see. Do you think Flowers will play the whole season at left tackle?
He's going to be given the opportunity to. And in a perfect case scenario for the Giants, yes. And at this point, as Giant fans, let's fucking hope so. Yeah, because there's no one else. So, I mean, we could sit here and speculate and throw names into the left tackle spot and be like, oh, put Pugh there. There's no guarantee Pugh's going to be good at left tackle. And what makes you think Pugh wants to go out to left tackle when he's so valuable right now at guard? So,
He's got short arms.
Yeah, he's got those short arms again. You know, there's no guarantee that Wheeler is the next coming. You mean you like him as a prospect, but we don't know. He's an undrafted free agent. So the plan right now is for Flowers to definitely play for all 16 games. And they're going to give him every opportunity to earn that spot and to play and to be the starter and to show that he was worth where he got drafted. And we'll see what happens. He looks the part.
Yeah, there is no one else. Unless it's an undrafted free agent that you're going to plot in there, or a rookie without some movement.
No.
He's the guy.
No way you're going to do that. There's no way putting drafted free agent in there instead of Flowers.
I think everybody needs to just accept the fact that the Giants' plan, whether we like it or not, obviously, because of the way that the offseason went, they had a plan that they spoke to Bobby Hart and they spoke to Flowers and that they told them that they were going to have the opportunity to take the next step. And from what we have seen in the reports, both of them responded, both of them were present, and both of them put in the work to get better. Now, they both look the part. They both look like they put in a lot of work. Now we'll see if there was film study and how that resonated and stuck with them as well, and if they can fix certain technique flaws that are in their game. Physically, they're both imposing, right? I mean, you look at them physically and you go, shit, those are two nice bookend tackles. And I think there's potential there. You know, when Flowers got drafted, guys, let's talk about this. He was raw. A lot of people thought he was going to go into the mid-late first rounds. No one thought he was going to get drafted like that. So you're talking about a kid that right now, if he played his full college year, should be full college 4 years, he should be coming into his rookie season right now. And you got a kid with 2 years of experience right now that is pissed off and has taken it to heart. That's what some people have said about him, even though he played through an injury and he's played 31 games through it, through his first 2 years, out of position, raw, undisciplined. Maybe it took a couple of years for a boy to become a man. You know, I mean, here he is. I mean, just look at him. He looks fucking imposing.
Was he 22? 23
22.
at most?
22, 23, and Hart's the same thing. I think Hart's 22, 23 as well. They're babies.
Yep.
And,
exactly.
And if you
let them develop.
And if you say to these kids, listen, we're gonna let you guys develop. We believe in you, and these kids respond, then shit, let them come in and give them the opportunity to play. Maybe they've seen enough from them. You know, a lot of people don't realize that Flowers actually graded out pretty well when Pugh was next to him. A lot of his struggles came when Pugh was hurt. When Pugh was next to him and he wasn't trying to overcompensate and he had some help, and this all going on the other side of him, he gets no help from Will Tye whatsoever because he can't block. So even in tough situations, a second-year tackle, he has no help. He was on an island. So he was exposed sometimes. Shit happens. It's a new day. And we need to just accept the fact that these are our tackles. The Giants are going to go with them. And let's get behind these fucking kids, man. They could be really good. Both of them.
Yeah, I'm with you. You know, and that's what I told Marco the other day was, you know, as far as Pugh, I think Pugh's a good leader for Flowers. And then, like you saw the difference when he went out. But when Pugh's there, right next to Flowers, they work well together.
Well, here's another thing. Pugh has more experience, right? So Pugh, in a situation, he's probably making sure that Flowers has the right reads and the right signals, right? So the communication is probably a lot better for Flowers, and there's probably a lot less to think about with Pugh next to him. Because Pugh's letting him know, hey, you got fucking this guy. I got this guy. We're good. When you take that away, now you got a guy that's unsure of himself in the first place. Pugh was his reliable place to go to. Now the guy there he's not familiar with. So there's a trust factor. There's unsurety. Meanwhile, there's guys coming at you at 1,000,000 miles an hour trying to rip your head off. It was put in a tough spot. He was put in a tough spot. But it looks like he's responded. He could have cowered or he could have fought back. It looks like he's fought back.
We're behind you, Flowers. Bleedbigblue.
And maybe, you know, if he spent the entire offseason in East Rutherford, that means the Giants got a good look at him. You know what I mean? Because if he was there the entire offseason, you know, East Rutherford is where a lot of these things happen in terms of off-season negotiation and things of that nature with free agents. And so, you know, Flowers is right in front of their face, you know, and sometimes you got to dance with the devil, you know.
Yeah.
And they obviously like him. They drafted him there. They knew him. They knew he was going to be a project. And, you know, maybe it just didn't go as they planned the first 2 years, you know, which is understandable. I mean, you look at the situation that the kid was put in. And it's New York, so you're under the spotlight. You're being criticized. Everywhere you turn, the reporters are in your face. It's a pain in the fucking ass. and you got to answer questions knowing that you're trying your best, you're playing hurt, and nobody gives a shit. So,
well, let's ask you this, guys. First year, did we really have an issue with Flowers? Did anybody really have an issue with Flowers after the first season?
no, and then he played hurt the next season, last season.
Exactly. So he took a step back in the second year a little bit. Okay. Whatever. But he's obviously motivated to get it back. And that's the thing that Coughlin liked about him in the first place. Coughlin used to rave about that in his first year. He's got that fire. And that's what you need. I want my offensive lineman to be all pissed off and want to blow people up. I want him to throw the reporter across the room if he gets in his face.
Yeah, I got no problem with a little fucking fire in the belly whatsoever. I like that he stuck around all off season, lost some weight, put in the work, got quicker. Just look at him. Did you guys see that fucking picture?
2-minute warning.
He looks violent.
James masturbating.
He looks violent.
Yeah, he looks like a big boy, slim too.
Yeah.
Trim and lean.
Handsome. Oh, did I say that?
Yes, you did. It's okay.
Oh my.
We're secure enough. We're secure enough in our own masculinity to fucking say what another man's handsome. It's fine.
Some players are late bloomers.
Like, I've seen Justin face to face, man. Justin's a good-looking man. I'm not going to tell him what it is.
Well, listen, I mean, attractive people hang out in groups, and that's why Jimmy and I were drawn to each other.
Oh, God.
100%. 100%.
All right, let's give it
our opening. We started at our employer on the same day, and opening day orientation. I don't know anything about anybody. We're in central Pennsylvania, and in the middle of 60 people, I found Jimmy, and he's a diehard Giants fan. In a gold, I think you were wearing it wasn't gold. It was tan. He was dressed as mine. He was wearing a tan suit.
Puff Daddy?
Well, I had to go pick up some money from my bitches after work.
What do you have, a big old gold chain?
Yeah, man, I had to pick up money from my bitches. I looked good. Let me tell you something.
We set the tone early.
That's right. All right, gents.
All right, everyone. Who's ever listening in, please, if you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button. Let's see what the number is. What do you think? On YouTube, how many think we got? Does anyone have a clue?
300.
What, our subscription? No, we're past 700 now on YouTube.
767. 767 on YouTube.
Subscriptions or
all right.
views?
Oh,
Yep.
subscription.
Subscription.
Let's go subscription. Facebook, 38,774.
And we're
Well,
up
we
a
didn't hit
couple
that
of hundred.
40K. We gotta hit that 40K.
Even with my
That
derogatory
Facebook account
posts,
is
we're up
dangerous.
like 200 people.
Yeah.
That Facebook account is dangerous because I'm tempted to just write stream of consciousness stuff.
Oh, like James does?
Yeah.
Sorry, Marco.
Also, we're down 1,000 followers.
We didn't. We didn't go down 1,000 fucking followers. We're up 200. We're plus 200 some. I saw that. Don't fucking try. I saw that shit. Don't try to fucking scare me and make me feel we're up 200. My banter is bringing them in. So like, this guy's a dick. Let me follow.
Marco's gonna be looking at the page like, how is this number so wrong right now? Oh,
we're getting a lot of traffic, a lot of eyes.
Yeah.
All right, Instagram 15.2. Not bad. 15,000.
IG.
And
On
Twitter,
Instagram, huh?
What up?
Yeah, the lonely Twitter at 1,711.
We really need a tech guy so we can go live on all this shit.
Yeah.
We are live on. It's live on Twitter, Facebook, and Yahoo and YouTube.
Yeah, Yahoo!
But everyone, thank you. We do it because this is some fun shit, and I'm not gonna lie.
That's right.
It cracks
Yeah,
me
we have
up.
a good time with it. Can't wait for the season to start.
Oh my god, I can't wait for the season to start.
Eli for MVP.
Good talk, gentlemen.
Plan for next week, 10 o'clock. Everyone, tune on in for that. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you later.
Bleedbigblue, gents.
Keep it real, everybody.
Always.
Good night, Norway.
Good night, Norway.